I am very much against the idea of a tiny habit.
This is it. We're like, take like commonly held beliefs and blow them up. I like that. Hello, welcome to Lift Habit TV. I'm here with Buster Benson, who I consider to be the godfather of behavior change apps. He created a number of really notable ones, 43 Things, Health Month, and Budge. And it's just someone that, when I was starting Lyft, I thought a lot about his work in the past, so it's a big honor to have you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
So right before the camera started rolling, you were asking me about outliers.
Yes, which is one of those books that everybody assumes that they've read before, without even reading it.
And so normally when you ask someone, the people go, the 10,000 hours book, right?
Right.
What do you think of the 10,000 hours rule?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Because it is a way to summarize my problem with a lot of...
I'm about to violently disagree with you, but I want to get your opinion out first.
Well, you haven't read it, so you don't know what the rule is. But, you know, people are all about shortcuts, and this book is about avoiding shortcuts, and the fact that you can't avoid shortcuts, and he's obviously an eloquent person, so he states it in a way that I could never state it.
So it's interesting. So the 10,000 hour rule is essentially, it's the point at which you cap out on improvement in the pursuit of mastery. After 10,000 hours of practice.
No.
That's not how you think of it?
That's not what it is.
What is it?
It takes, it's the, before you can become a master at something, before you can really rise to the top of a class, of a particular skill, you have to put in your time. And the people that are excellent, that if you go back and you think about like the Beatles, or various like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or whoever, you're like, at what point did they become recognized as excellent? And they revise the story to make it seem like, hey, we just started in our garage, when actually they've been programming since they were 14. And they had access to free computer time when nobody else did. Or
so this idea of shortcuts is there's all these people that want to be Steve Jobs, no one wants to be the Beatles anymore, but they want to be Justin Bieber, who's like considered this YouTube sensation, but he probably actually put in a huge amount of time before
those 10,000 hours are often cut out of the story after the fact. Well, habits are not tiny. They're large.
Huge.
And they're not just like drinking a glass of water is not the habit. The habit is rewiring your brain. Like a habit is not really so much an extension of your mind as it is an extension of your body in a lot of ways. Like, you're not trying to simply think differently. You're trying to change the way your brain thinks about things around a whole lot of inputs. So for this example, like running more, or changing my diet, and all these things that need to happen, the root cause, or the root goal, is to think about myself and believe that I'm a healthier person. And so that seems difficult. It's a big, huge thing I have to change about myself. So I said, let's break it down into 1,000 unidentified steps, and say, I'm starting at 1,000, I'm counting down. Game mechanics, give me the ability to like see that as, a journey, right? Like when you run, you focus on something that's far away, and the bumps that you come across seem smaller. You're able to pace yourself a little bit better. The failures, like if I go down the wrong block once, like it's not like, oh, I suck at running. It's more like, oh, I gotta get back to that because I'm going way down there.
So like, what's the step that you've taken recently?
The steps, like going on a run count, but also like...
That's obviously,
7 days of eating salads for lunch counts as a step. Like having a meditation practice counts because it's it requires mental strength. Reading books that have something to do with willpower, and so the great thing about 1,000 is that there's so many of them that a lot of things count. And I don't have to, only count the things that are really specifically towards that goal. Because ultimately, I'm trying to train for an identity change rather than a behavior change.
So is there something in there about momentum then? Like, if so many things count, do you start to build up, like there's this upswell of success? Right.
You see things happening, and we react almost as strongly to a small positive motivation as a large one, right? Like,
Yeah.
our hedonic treadmill only recognizes positive. Hey, that's cool, and it usually simmers down. Like, if I go on a 10-mile run and that counts as one, you know, no matter what, it's not going to seem like a big deal a couple days later.
Right.
But by having a lot of small things, it seems like, hey, the stock's going up.
You've actually framed it so that it is possible to succeed no matter.
As long as I you know, start ticking these things off,
Yeah.
and go to the marathon and run it,
Yeah.
and continue afterwards. When you make goals, I frame them as a sentence. Like, this is sort of how I do it now.
Yeah.
And the sentence is framed in a way that it's true or false on a monthly basis. So that, well, there's a couple things. One of them is that it has to be framed in such a way that if I fail, I'm disappointed. And if I succeed, I'm happy. So you find that line, it's like, you know, maybe hitting the mile pace wasn't the right goal, because you could be a few seconds less and you won't be disappointed. You're still running, you're still going pretty well, doing pretty well. So it's framed wrong, and it's built to disappoint you, even when you're making progress, even when you're doing well. It should be, you know, run at all, or whatever it is that is like the least you can do to be happy that you did it.
All right, so it's already coming out. You're a fanatic and skeptic at the same time.
Yeah.
How do you, what is,
I've thought I was a fanatic for a long period of time.
So just to like clue our viewers in, you have no hope. Okay, go.
I have lots of hope, but I think that I don't have a strategy for success. I don't know what's going to work. I feel like there's 100, maybe 1,000 of us, you know, on the starting line, and
trying to figure out
how to finish a marathon. And solving the problem of how do we change ourselves is at like mile 26.
And then what are you hopeful for, and what makes you the fanatic? I mean, you have put out. I at least know of 4 products in this space.
Well, I really want to solve the problem. Like as far as, you know, problems go, it's really the only problem that has any interest to me, because we all want to, like, it's the problem that's built underneath all the other things we want to do in our lives.
Right.
Like, knowing how to change yourself is the only path to changing anybody else, and changing the world, to having an impact, to having a legacy, to feeling like you've had meaning in your life. So if we can't change ourselves, there's no way in hell that we're ever going to do any of the other things intentionally. They might happen by chance, but like, why hope that like you got the right, you know, pachinko ball, right?
You know, I ended up giving up my Fuel and my Up and my Fitbit for this watch, which is just a GPS Nike watch. Not because I like the data, but because it motivates me to exercise. Like, it's so big on my wrist that I think
it's like Nike staring at you.
Yes, I must. And it plays with my like sense of identity. It makes me think, oh yeah, I'm someone who works.
I'm sporty.
Yeah, I'm sporty. And so
that's awesome.
That's more impactful than any of the technology.
Yeah, that's why I wear sneakers, because it gives me the same like reminder that I can run whenever I want.
Yeah.